Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below this video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching. Then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Zinda, The Plain Truth, Physics Warrior, no, not joined by The Plain Truth, it's Jose. Jose, Eric, Chocolate Saiyan, Warren, Arwin, and Apollo. Good to have you all.
Tweet, tweet.
Yo.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Lion.
Hello, hello, hello. We did housekeeping on the last one. I'm quite happy to forego the housekeeping because we were having quite a good chat just before the show started about the ridicule that Jose's been recently receiving because of his jolly good work. Bendy train track. Bendy train track, huh?
You gotta love it, man.
So Soundly's not very happy with you.
We had a good chat the other day, a few days ago on a Discord server, and yeah, that subject wasn't brought to the attention. We just talk about other stuff, the upcoming January observations. But yeah, no, the Poncho train track was not talk about it. I didn't want to bring it. I was waiting for him to mention it. He just totally swept it under the rug.
I really didn't even mention the Poncho train track. Oh, that
Didn't even mention it, and nobody in the chat mentioned it at all.
Oh, that does surprise me.
That's telling.
I would have thought they would all be all prepped and genned up to show you like some old crappy Russian train track that is actually bent.
Yeah, so you can just conclude whatever you want of them not bringing that subject.
Maybe they were being smart about it and said, you know what, let's not bring that up, so that the people with common sense that know that railroad tracks aren't bent like that, let's keep that away from those people with common sense. I think that's why they didn't bring it up.
Oh, that makes me want to bring it up. Is anybody who's got access to, who's on a PC that could bring that video up? Everyone's super keen. Yeah, I don't want to bring up the sound destroying proof.
Or win. Do it.
On Jose's channel, you mean?
Yeah, it's on Jose's.
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
Jose JG Gonzalez with a Z.
Bring it on. Yeah, I got good feedback, some comments on my last few videos that I posted in my channels. Many people appreciating.
Okay, which one?
So thank you guys for giving me feedback.
I think he calls it. What's the title, Jose?
I call it Soundly Debunked Again, Poncho Train Track.
Soundly Poncho Train Debunked Again. Oh yeah, right. Okay, I'm presenting. Oh.
So yeah, guys, pay attention over there. Maybe you have seen this video, but take another look.
Make it full screen. That'd be brilliant. Thank you very much. Do you want to talk us through it? Obviously, there's no sound from Arwin's screen, Jose.
Yeah, I was. There's a very long stretch of train track by where I live, and and I went with my camera. My wife was hanging out with me. She was like, "Oh shit, I can see the train very small at the end, and it's moving." I said, "Nah, it's not moving. Leave me alone. I'm catching the curvature of the train track." She was in the background like, "There's no curve in that train track." I say, I'm getting it on my camera." So yeah, I was in a very long, straight train track. I was able to catch the same effect as soundly catches in the Lake Pancho train, and I just had to choose the right angle, choose the right magnification on the camera. There you go, Bendy Bridge. And I don't think that bridge is curving on a rate of a 7.6 R to give us that effect.
Oh,
That's not a
hell
big
no.
hump. That's not a hill in that train track. Psh, ridiculous.
We're talking a couple of miles. It's not going up some stupid roller coaster. It's a train.
This part is
No,
amazing.
it's not. This is Texas. This state is totally flat, you know? It could be a few inches higher, but you think a few inches is going to do this effect? Oh, no. This is just an optical illusion that I'm catching right here. Look at that blink test. It's perfect. Perfection. Exactly the same effect. And you tell me it doesn't look exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the same optical effect. Neither a curvature.
Exactly. I'm not claiming it's the same length as the bridge. I mean, it's not over water, but I'm catching the same effect, which that was the intention of the video. I'm able to replicate 99% the same observation that Soundly catches.
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
You've been a bit absent during the Cavendish stuff, surprisingly, Chris.
Yeah, I was listening this morning. I was up late last night, so I was too tired to.
Were
get
you
up.
throwing stuff at the screen?
Huh?
Were you throwing stuff at the screen while the conversation was going on?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. That guy was. I mean, I'm not surprised. He just was throwing the standard WGS 84 model baller stories at us. So. Yeah, I had some questions for him. That was for sure. I know everyone did. Everyone was frustrated.
Bendy Bridge? No, Bendy Train Track. Hey, pollito. Oh,
Good timing, dog.
yeah.
Thank you for presenting that, Arwin. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you for presenting it, guys.
I have a question about that, Jose. I mean, this is gonna sound stupid. Are those tracks flat?
Yeah.
It is parallel. I mean, they are flat. I can see it with my. I mean, when I'm standing, and when you're kneeling down, when it's clear, you can see it just continues. It's just flat, like for
I
real.
mean, yeah.
In Texas, I mean, you can key in the on the on the map all the whole section of the track, and there's no difference in elevations at all.
Okay, so it's not like over like a little hump in the ground or anything like that.
No, no, it goes. I mean, there are some street crossing for the cars and stuff, but it's probably going to be maybe a few inches of difference on elevation.
I mean, if that's the case, that's just unbelievable. That is an exact replica of the Soundly Bridge. Then, perfect.
Shout out to Globe Philosophy for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Being a Glober is a lot like being a Liverpool supporter. You've seen the League Cup, but you can't prove it's real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, Jaran, for the camera. Thank you for everybody
that's
that
fantastic.
was
I mean, that
part
looks
of my
like
camera.
that looks like the train would be going over a huge hump.
Over a hill. Yeah.
Over a hill.
Yes, I think last week I was on my way home from work, and I was going by the train track, and Arwin was live, and I go like, Arwin, check out check on the camera what I'm looking at, and there was I with the phone, just taking a look at the camera. It was just, I mean, it's just a flat train track. Pretty cool. Right now it's raining. In this couple of days, it's been miserable, and I'm planning to go back a few more times and do it again and again.
I'd like to see if possible a non-distorted, the flat view if it's possible, just to compare.
Yeah.
The distortion is part of the view, so it's part of the effect.
Well, but he's obviously low to the ground, and he's sort of trying to get that soundly look, right? I mean,
so Spec in the chat says the train tracks can only rise at a certain ratio because of the weight. Absolutely. So whenever they make train tracks, they go to quite some efforts to very carefully monitor the raise and the gradient increases and decreases. It's critical, in fact, and that's why they blast out the way, anything that's in the way, they'd rather blast it out of the way because they've got to get it flat. If it was capable of going over hills, they'd be going up and down hills rather than blasting out flat surfaces for these tracks to be laid on. But yes, absolutely right, Spec. They have to very, very carefully account for the rise and fall of any train track. It's minimal, basically.
Yeah, but I will go back to see if I don't get that haziness at the end, because I want to see further away. And I uploaded the original video right next to this one. I uploaded this one, it's edited, and then the original one, which is where I took the snippet to do this compilation.
Rumpus is claiming a 2-meter increase in elevation. Yeah, it looks like it's going over the curve of the Earth, though, Rumpus. Matching Soundly's. Anyway.
Good stuff. Appreciate you
Very
showing
good
that.
Soundly's.
They need to see this.
Very good.
Yeah, I really like the quality on the site with those train tracks. Yeah, I put it up to high resolution, 720, and it just looked so crystal clear, and you could really see the waves from the heat and everything in it. So crystal clear. It's just beautiful footage.
Thank you very much.
You know what I find funny, guys? These guys like Rumpus want to claim the body of science proves everything they're trying to prove, right? Well, just the other day, and I had forgotten about it, but Michio Kaku had this quote where he said, he was talking about, assuming and mistakes and stuff, and the mistakes of science. And he said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but something to the effect of, in cosmology, their scientists are probably wrong to 1 to the 120th power. That's a 1 with 120 zeros after it. That's the degree that they could be wrong in cosmology. So why would we quote science, the body of science proves everything, when somebody like that, a huge astrophysicist himself, will say how wrong we are? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, you've got to keep the doublespeak up. Keep people in perpetual confusion.
They got to keep the presupposition going.
But I mean, you see the disconnect? Like, somebody like Michio Kaku will say that, pretty much says that, I mean, to me, that means you don't know anything. But then Rumpus will come in and say the body of science proves everything. It's like, okay, one of you guys has to be wrong, and I trust Michio Kaku a little bit more than Rumpus, obviously. Even though I don't trust him either.
He wants to be the next Einstein. He wants to create an equation to explain everything in less than an inch of an equation.
You talk about Kaku?
Yeah.
Or you talk about Rumpus?
Yeah, right, Michio Kaku, yeah. With the string theory. He wants to create the string theory in a short equation less than an inch long to explain everything. How about that?
I mean, to me, it just seems like an opening for them to be able to say, just in case they do get found out that they're wrong and they're lying to us about whatever. Oh yeah, we're wrong. We're wrong. It's okay. When we have other people telling us that they're not wrong, they know everything, the science is done, the Earth is a globe, and that's that.
AP.
So it's a little crazy.
Maybe I wasn't able to even find flat Earth until because I was a big fan of Michio Kaku. I was listening to him for months and months, all the lectures and hours. Until that day, I decided to listen to something different. So thank you, Eddie Bravo, on the Joe Rogan podcast. You woke me up to flat Earth. Boom. Sounds like a joke, but it's true.
He did me too. That's how I even looked into it, was Eddie Bravo. Hey, Arwen, are you there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I every time I catch your early bird show, I catch it at like 3/4 of the way through, just because I'm usually taking my kids to school. Do you have music, introduction music?
No.
Okay, so just a sidestep convo real fast because I have to go. So Travis, aka the Plain Truth, reached out to me the other day when he saw me playing my guitar on one of these videos, and asked if I could create some music for him for a podcast. So I did some intro music. So I was just curious if you wanted me to do the same, free of charge, of course. But
wow. Well, if you're offering, yeah, that would be awesome.
Sure. It was really fun. I hadn't recorded anything in a really long time, and I really was happy with it. So I'll send you what I made for him, and you kind of tell me what you think, and then the style you're looking for. But sorry, I don't. Yeah, not meaning to hijack the show, but I do have to run. So I just thought I'd throw that out there real fast.
All right. Well, talk to me on Skype about it.
Okay, I'll send you the link on Skype.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Where did Anthony go?
Minecraft,
Ah.
probably.
Anthony is a conspiracy.
World of Warcraft it is. That was quite hysterical. So the guy's claiming to be a physics master. Hey, Ranty. Hello. No sound.
Where did Paulo go?
Hello, Ranty.
Hello.
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 So the guy, the physics guy was yesterday. Oh, you're very quiet, Ranty. I think I might need to turn you up. Give us another sound check, Ranty.
Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm on a laptop, so.
Alright, I've turned you right up now. We can hear you.
Anymore.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just winding the rumpus up in chat. He's basically said that an inferior mirage and the compression is proof of the globe. So I've challenged him to do a video about it.
He's a useless idiot.
Hey?
That you feeding back, Ranty? Seem to have to constantly approve Rumpus as a lie.
Are we having audio issues? Culture Hufford.
We're all good, I think. I think it's just because it just joined.
Yeah, there was a video put out yesterday. Did you see it? A gentleman went and did the Miles Davis observation, but from the other route. So he was looking in the opposite direction. Have you had time to look at that video?
Is that the one that you sent me?
I think so, yeah. I think I sent you the link.
Oh, yes. I have seen this. Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
How did I forget about that? Have you got it? Have you got? Can you present it?
I can't present it. I'm not at home, so.
Don't worry, we'll do it properly rather than having it with the show title that's about Shawn the lying asshole. we'll do it specifically about that dude's observation, because it's basically Miles Davis's observation, but in reverse, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it absolutely smashes the ball completely apart. It's the best flat Earth proof. Seriously, when you get down into the nitty-gritty of it and you do the angular size on two particular mountains in the distance that have got a very identifiable object on the top, when you do their angular size, it's absolutely a flat Earth proof. Completely. Me and Adam Meakin have been working
Where can
on
I
it
find
and,
this?
Sorry?
Ranty, what's the name of the channel?
Just give me a moment and I'll find it for you.
Thank you. Coming soon for subscribing to my channel.
Hope Town Hang on. Let me just click the link. Bear with me, because things are a bit slow. I'm using a Wi-Fi laptop.
All nice and calm, Ranty. There's no rush.
Okay, so it's from Flat SA, so it's all one word, FLATSA, and that's the name of the channel, and it's called Hope Toon Monument, Haddington from Falkirk. And that's the video, that's what it's called. And it's absolutely sensational. I wouldn't actually mind doing a QED on it, Nathan, later if you want.
But that was exactly what I was saying. I'd rather do a dedicated show to it. It's that good, rather than just slipping it in now. So even if you were capable, it's like, well, no, we'll specifically do a show about it. It may or may not be, a debate that's available for the public to join. But yeah, it would warrant doing that. But it's not our information, so I think if we can dedicate it to the beginning of one of the shows, so that it's the first thing that people see. And then it's discussed afterwards, potentially with people joining and debating it, then great, But yeah, I think we should definitely title a show about that specific observation and have it as the opener, if that makes sense, even if it's in a couple of days' time.
If you want, or unless you wanted to do a QED on it tonight.
Can do. Do you know the guy?
I've seen him in chats. He's been in the chats talking.
Well, let's see if we can get hold of him.
P900.
Let's see if we can get hold of him, because if we can just chat to him, that would be much better, because it's his observation.
Sure.
Well, yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Is it Flat SA? FLATSA?
Yes, yeah, that's the channel name.
But he got like 1 subscriber only.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, and he
Ranty.
only has 2 videos, so that's the 2 videos. One 50 seconds and one like a minute and a half.
Yeah, so it's the one that's a minute and a half.
Wow. So one guy with just 1 subscriber is smashing the ball. I'm going to have to look this up later. Subscribe.
Right, well, let's get this guy some subscribers then. If someone can stick the link in the side chat, I'll put it out to the public, and hopefully we can get him 20 or 30 subscribers before the end of the show.
No worries.
Yeah, just subscribe to him.
Well, he's got 5 now. I'll stick his link in the side chat, Nath. Well, what time is going to be good for you tonight to do this?
Well, it depends if we can get hold of the guy.
Oh, right, okay.
What was the channel name, guys?
FLATSA. I'm just about to stick the link in the public chat so that people can subscribe to him now.
Okie dokie.
There you go. So the link's in the public chat. Click on that link. Go and subscribe to him immediately.
Awesome.
Watching this on the after
Yeah,
show. Hopefully you can still
if he's watching the show, he know where the subscribers come from. Maybe he's sleeping or something. When he wake up, he go like, "Whoa, where the subscribers come from?" So he's gonna know he's been getting a shout out. Good one.
Black World Logic subscribed. Alan Atkinson subscribed. Thank you, gentlemen or woman. Don't know if you're a woman. Flat World Logic. Joy. Annoying ball lickers. Thanks for that. I'll stop reading the chat now, I think. Not all of them are going to be about subscribing to this dude.
Well, I'll tell you why it's. I'll give you a brief insight as to why it's so awesome. It's that there's two identifiable things. One's the Hope Tomb monument, and around about 14 or 15 seconds in, we see a mast in the background. I've identified it to the exact position. It's about 60 odd miles away, so it's much further than Hope Tomb monument. And essentially, the angular size of that on a ball should be half the angular size of the mountain which Hope Tomb monument is on. And yet, in relative to the bridge, they're identical in height. And that only works when you apply it on a flat plane, and all three have an angular size of 0.16. The bridge and the two mountains all should have an angular size of 0.16, and they all match up perfectly. And yet on the ball, it should be 0.16 for the bridge, 0.14 for the hill with the Hope Tomb monument in, and 0.08, so half the height of the hill with Hope Tomb monument on, for the mast. So I've done all the calculations. Adam's in full agreement. It's absolutely crystal clear what we're actually seeing there, and it's an absolute flat Earth proof.
Liar.
Is that Pete? Who's that?
Did I do a shout out to Shawn Hufford that he's gonna make a live show later at 1:30, and the title is "Train Tracks Must Be Flat." Ah, boom! Punch a train in action.
Yeah, these people disgust me. They're all liars.
Liar.
It was. I noticed some people messaged me today to tell me that Conspiracy Cats had thrown another video in one of his latest videos. So I had a quick look at it, and before I even had a look, I said, he's bound to have misrepresented it, and sure enough, completely misrepresented the point of the video again.
This is another one where
he presented you both as a proof of the globe.
Yeah. He said you can't see the bottom of the boat. No shit, Sherlock. Because there's a massive inferior mirage that stretched the boat. It looks about 3 times as stretched. You can actually see. No wonder you can't see it, because the inferior mirage is there. What a dimwit.
No, well, he can't see it at all, because we're now at the stage where we're analysing what they have formerly called curvature. And because you're analysing what they formerly called curvature, morons just go, curve! And ignore every word you say.
Down now.
So yeah.
Ranty, did you see? I put a few short videos. I think it was yesterday, and in one of the videos, I catch the same effect that you got with the Stena line, where a small boat is going in front of it, and you still see the reflection of the letters underneath the boat. I got the same thing in a video I've uploaded here.
Can you present it?
I'm on my mobile phone.
Ah, damn. Nathan, can you present it?
No. I'm doing something else, sorry.
Arwin, can you present it?
What? Sorry.
What? Jose's video with the inferior mirage on the boats.
All right. Okay, I'll look for it.
Yeah, I think it's the first one you're going to find. It's called Flat Earth Reflection Under Obstruction, something that phrase.
Catchy title.
Probably better than mine. I think mine was titled Big Fish, Little Fish.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And I was waiting for it to happen, because I seen the boat and I see the letters reflected underneath the boat itself, not in the actual water, because you can see where the hard horizon is, which not necessarily have to be there, but you can see the hard horizon, and then above it, in the actual boat, is the reflection of the letters, and then a long boat going in front of it, and you can see the reflection. Crazy, weird, good stuff. There you go. Now start panning to the left. It was a crazy mirage day. A lot of mirroring effects going on.
Karen B is a drug dealer.
Wow, that Flats has got 31 subscribers now. That's awesome.
Look at that. You see that, Ranty?
Oh, you're presenting it? Who's presenting that? Is that
Arwin is.
That looks really weird. Like a snake.
Go back
by.
a
It's
few
like a
seconds,
multicolored
Arwin.
snake crawling by.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, those are like train boats. You know, you got like a one boat and you got a long platform hauling it. Go back a few seconds when the long boat is coming in again, Arwin, please. There you go. Check it out, Randy.
Nice mirroring going on there. CMA.
Yeah, look at the reflection underneath the boat. It's going in front of it. That should be solid. You shouldn't be seeing the reflection.
Is it a reflection or mirroring? Looks like it's a.
It's Earth Curve.
It's the curvature.
This part looks really weird. It's like, what is that?
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, and they don't like people looking into this. They don't like people analysing what they're seeing here. So out of ignorance, they will rather say it's just Earth curve, like you say, Nathan. Just complete ignorance.
Thank you, Arwin, for presenting it.
Roxanne betrayed the white race with a nigger.
Wow.
Come on, P, respect.
Really?
Someone's kicked him or he's dropped.
Why do you even let that tool on?
Well, he would have got kicked for that, but he dropped. So, Flat World Logics asked me to play his angle of attack video. Pick that up.
By who?
Flat World Logic. Spin this back to the beginning. So, shout out to Flat World Logic.
Do we
The
have
time
any
PMAR's out in the
volume on
chat
this?
for being a dick. But should a time PMAR's out in the chat for being a dick?
Yes.
Hey, Anthony.
I got kicked before. I couldn't join because my ISP dropped. Yeah, ban PMARs. No need for people like me.
adds nothing to the conversation at all.
No, he doesn't. He adds nothing. It's like Rumpus, though. I mean, what's the difference between PMARs and Rumpus?
What do you want?
Oh, Rumpus does know his model.
He lives at home. He's never been with a woman, and he plays online poker, supposedly for a living.
I'm pretty sure he's had prostate.
What's your issue with that, by the way, Eric? What's your issue with him saying
being a virgin at 37?
Look, he's into poker. I'm pretty sure he'll have had contact with
I asked because
so
I had
to
a
say
chat.
he's a virgin.
I had a chat with PMARS, and he said that lots of guys get quite
Which
fussy
one?
with him
He
about
lives
that
at home?
particular detail. It's just funny that you get fussy with him about that detail. Until this point, I'd never heard anybody like highlight the fact that he claims to make his living from poker. I mean, I've seen him doing it, so I don't see what the objection is. But I just think it's funny that he specifically.
Nothing wrong with playing poker for a living, but from what I know, you have to actually go outside and go to casinos. You can't do that online poker and make a living. That's just
yeah. You can, but you're not gonna get super rich of it.
Wait. I'm saying a living. I don't mean enough to live at home with mom. Okay, that's not called a living.
Oh, not in the stable sense. No.
Right. I'm talking about a living.
But if you use it as a side job or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
might
not
yield
living.
results.
I'm talking about paying rent on a rental or a mortgage or having a family and what? No, you can't make a living doing what Pete does. You can live at home with mom, yes.
Yeah.
I think Pete just gets by on his looks.
Yeah, okay.
Is it true he's a virgin?
Yeah, come on, let's change the subject, please.
If I was a betting man.
No, come on.
I think I've heard he's a virgin.
Oh God, this is not a good conversation.
We don't need your presuppositional.
Well, he does call himself an insult, so he does call in, yeah. So
I've heard that he's religious. He keeps it because he doesn't want to give out easy.
I think he listened to Pete Shea, you know.
Oh, he's got one of those rings. Chastity ring.
Oh God.
You know what Pete Shea says about not only pee-pee, but the other stuff, right?
What does he say?
I don't want to know.
You're supposed to eat it and not give it away.
Eat it?
Yes.
Are we talking about what are we talking about here?
The other thing that comes out of your
baby making stuff.
Wow.
I don't want to get too graphic. Just please work with me here.
For all ages.
I'm trying.
Let's try to keep it PG.
But, you know, you're not a flat earther unless you've been accused of being an agent by Pete Shea.
Yes.
That's not true. He accuses everyone.
That's what I mean.
Not only have I been
on Pete Shea's radar.
Not only have I been accused, I've been actually blocked by Pete Shea. So there you go.
Really?
Yo.
I've been on his show.
But
If you've not been accused by Pete Shea of being an agent, you're not a proper flat earther.
Or truther, or anarchist.
Yeah. I don't even think you're human.
that's right. That's the standard. Fuck it, I'll take it. He can block me all he wants.
Yeah.
I will start.
It's very simple. If you haven't been accused by Pete Shea, then you're an NPC. You're not real.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. Some of the flat earthers are worse than some of the ball earth trolls.
But I don't know. I mean, what is Pete? Is he a flat earther or what is
He's
he?
a
He's a
hermaphrodite.
weirdo. I'll just say it like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
look who's talking, okay? But he's slightly more weirdo than me. Well, not slightly, a lot more. I don't know. He's just a weirdo. And when you actually face-to-face confront him with his shit and his psychotic tendencies, he turns into a whiny, screaming little girl. Almost literally.
Goes ballistic.
Every single time.
It's funny because he'll come on shows and he'll be kind of normal and he'll do the
Dodo, Aristarchus.
well, no, he'll come on with his NLP voice and sound like a wise old man, and then you'll hear him on another show and he's just like ballistic. Why aren't you talking about this topic? What he wants everybody to focus on his research. Is one of those kind of
The legal name fraud, which I've looked into that, and he always says the phrase, why aren't you all over that, Anthony? And I'm like, well, I've looked into it and I agree with you. Why would I need to be all over it? I realize that when we're born, we're given a moccasin. It's not our real person. We're given an identity, which is basically a number. And when you get that, that's where your life achievements or accomplishments get marked for or against.
Right.
That's basically it.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I've got to agree with Pete Shea. Is there anybody willing that's not talking to drop so he can at least defend himself?
oh god.
No.
Come
you
on,
really
hang on,
want
you
to-
can't slag
Let's
the
think
guy
about
off from
this.
chat when he's actually asking to join. That's a bit unreasonable.
Let
know,
them
I'll
eat
drop.
poop.
That's like asking which would you rather be buggered by, Rumpus or Pete Shea? I mean, neither are really good.
Hang on, I'll drop.
Thank
I'm
you,
dropping
No,
Randy.
please
10
don't.
seconds. I'm dropping in 10
He's gonna
seconds.
go after
so
me
now-
first since I brought
He
him
might
up.
not.
Get
He
ready
might
to
not
join.
even be able to come in because he blocked me. So he's gonna have to unblock me first. Because I'm not leaving for him. Sorry.
You, Chucky? Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is how
Oh,
you
so
lose.
that means he's going to have to basically overrule his blocking of you to come in, and that
There
would
you
make
go.
him feckless.
Somebody just
you go.
dropped, so I think the way it works, he has to unblock Jose, or Chocolate. I'm sorry.
Oh, this could get
I'm not leaving
interesting.
for him.
I
Wait
can't
a
believe
minute.
he's blocked
He might
Chocolate.
have
Of
blocked
all
me,
the people,
'cause I don't even.
how could you possibly want to block Chocolate? What could you possibly have done to offend him?
Yeah,
You're like the
my
most
thing.
mild-mannered person.
Exactly my point. Who have
Hey,
I
Travis.
Why
offended
this is a
besides some
cliche,
silly
but-
ballers?
I was gonna try my very best accent, but I couldn't pull it off.
Oh,
Let's
Well,
see how
I
long
can
it
do-
takes. Let's
Well, the-
see how long it takes before we descend into Patricia's a man nonsense again.
Oh no.
Just have to talk about Aristarchus and stop getting distracted by the other subjects.
is he even here?
He can't join because he's got Chocolate saying of all people blocked.
So there's some people here that are against getting married and having family. I actually think it's a great thing. I know, maybe I'm dumb.
It all depends on the person. Sorry.
Well, I mean, marriage is just an idea, but I think having children is a great thing. I'm sorry, I'm sticking with it. What about you, Anthony?
Honestly, I think that bringing children up in this world that we live in is just I wouldn't want to bring children up in this world because I think that our society is so broke, it's unbelievable. I think I wouldn't want to be a child in today's world where you can't do anything. I wanted to climb trees. I want to do shit as a kid that you're not allowed to do these days because of health and safety. I want to learn stuff in school that we don't get taught. I want to learn that the moonlight's cold. I don't want to learn that the sun's 93 million miles away and just have to believe.
Oh, you have to have
I get that.
that teaches you that stuff.
I'm a little bit optimistic. I think something has got to give here. A major tipping point. I don't know, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah. It
Would
is.
you rather like schools to be more praxis orientated?
No, rather than say things like, hey, check out what happens if you do this with the moonlight, and then come to the conclusion of why it does it. And then you could have the debate about why this seems to have negative energy, because negative energy doesn't exist, right? But what's causing this? Because no one ever gets told that about the sun, the moon. And I think that's a mistake. I think that people should get told it so that we can ask the question, well, what is the explanation for this by science?
I don't know if that... Look, I think they can actually artificially create cold light. So it's not like this ultimate
So you think that you can have negative energy, right?
But,
really?
No, it's not negative energy.
So how do you explain light being cold?
I don't know the details.
You can cool things with light, with lasers.
Yeah, but how do you...
It just eats...
How do you cool
the temperature?
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a laser expert.
Go on,
you can cool with the lasers by to center the molecules that wiggle around, right? So heat is motion, and once you take the lasers and focus them at the right side, you can cool it by making those molecules not moving anymore.
Oh, you negate the vibration.
Yeah, this
So
is how
it's a temperature counter resonance. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and this is how they cool helium to almost 0 Kelvin. You know, and stuff like this they do. I don't know if I can call it science. Maybe, I guess. Yet they use those really, really cold materials to test with them as I don't know,
superfluid helium. The creation of superfluid helium.
Just got one question. Who's Calvin?
Calvin, I don't know when he lived. He's dead now. He's the guy who I think he created a temperature scale, I think. After Celsius and Fahrenheit, the scientific world uses his method to describe like a 0 point, which which
the
is
significance he wanted to know the ultimate nil temperature.
Hey,
that was his
Zindig,
mission.
let me change topic slightly. Do you know Christ, Jesus Christ? Do you believe that Jesus Christ existed?
I've never seen evidence for it. I've never looked into it, so I say no. I don't think so.
Most people tend to fall in the camp that he probably existed, but whether he was son of God or not is the point. But my question is that I'm not really bothered about whether or not he was the son of God. I'm just asking, do you think that Jesus Christ might have actually existed in some form or other? Most people tend to say that he may have existed, but whether or not he was the son of God and blessed with special skills or not is really the question that they have. But the reason why I ask is because Aristophanes is the guy that was famous for measuring the circumference of the earth with sticks in the ground. It's the sticks in the ground, right?
Yeah.
He lived 250 years before Christ was born, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
My question would be empirical on the basis that if a lot of people question whether Christ actually existed in the first place, why would you accept that Aristophanes existed for this sticks in the ground incident when most people challenge whether or not even Christ existed? And would you say it's fair criticism to question whether or not Aristophanes existed, given that a lot of people don't even believe that Christ did exist?
Well, of course. I mean, I have never seen any evidence of Aristotle's existence. So it is always the same a little with history, right? I mean, you have some characters which I can't prove for myself that they existed because I would have to time travel, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is fair. It is a fair criticism. Maybe he was an invention from the authorities. Maybe they invented him. I don't know. For certain purpose to push the globe Earth further and say, look, even they knew the Earth is a globe back then. I can't tell, honestly.
So when you look up Aristophanes on Wikipedia, for example, it actually makes the admission, they admit that they don't know what Aristophanes actually looked like. And that to me is an embedded confession. I interpret that to mean this guy didn't even exist. Have you noticed that?
No, I never looked into it, honestly. So
yeah, you should check it. They basically say on Wikipedia that no one knows what Aristophanes even looked like. And I'm going to say that that's their embedded confession that he didn't actually exist.
Yeah, I mean, so no one made a picture of him. I mean, painted a picture of him or anything, right?
Dude, it's supposedly 2,000 years before Christ. So...
250 before Christ.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, a long time ago.
How
many paintings of that era do you know?
Almost none. I mean, no one made a description of him, how it looks, right?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Just seems to be a little bit odd that he's cited as one of the most infamous men in the whole history of the Earth because he calculated the circumference of the Earth, but no one actually knows what he looks like, and it's debatable whether he even existed.
Well, how much do you know about this person? Did they agree with him? The mainstream, they agree with him that with his research, or?
Oh, Carl Sagan pushed it in the 70s. If you type in Carl Sagan and Aristophanes on YouTube, you can see Carl Sagan in the 70s and 80s proclaiming his love for Aristophanes and how fantastic he was.
I mean, back then, like around 2,000 years ago, did they agree with what he said?
Of course
not. The Greeks.
God only knows.
No, they didn't. Of course they wouldn't.
Well, no, because back then in the day, it was the thingy model, wasn't it? It was the Aristotelian geocentric model that Aristophanes replaced. They believed that we were spherical, but we were the center of the universe, apparently, according to history.
They'd let him entertain it, but yeah, to be sure, they wouldn't love him for it. So, yeah, if he was even there.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be like, oh my god, the guy has finally invented the true shape of the Earth. Whoa, we're going to worship him now. No, that's actually not how it works in reality. Paradigm shifts are very tedious, hard, and human nature fights against it. So, whatever the paradigm shift is going to be, whether it be based on truth or non-truth, takes time. and reconditioning of the newer generations, usually.
Yeah.
I
agree
doubt
with
he
that.
existed, and even if he did, maybe coincidentally there was this first glober among the philosophers there. Who cares?
Well, then I remind myself of what then happened with regards to. Bear in mind that Aristophanes had just like kind of debunked Aristotelian views that we were not geocentric, we were heliocentric. Turns out that Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle then went around the Mediterranean countries, all around the Mediterranean Sea, spreading the good word. And I just find that crazy. It's like, really? So they had these missionaries that are basically like Rumpus and co. that went around the Mediterranean Sea spreading the good word. That's what
Now,
actually happened.
that's what the Jesuits did. Duh. That's exactly what they did. It makes perfect sense.
It makes sense, but is it true?
It's a cover story.
Yeah, I'd say it's a cover story as well, if I'm honest. I just find it interesting that the creator of this spherical Earth that we all are told that we live on can't even prove he existed, yet he's believed. Sounds convenient to me, right?
I don't know. It works for religion, so
About
why
10
not
minutes
for
left on
science?
this live show, Anthony. And as the name of this show is Shawn Hufford, Sad Excuse for a Man Audio Guy, any chance you can explain to the audience why he is the namesake of this show?
Because he made spurious allegations about conduct of mine that he can't prove, has no evidence to prove, not even persuade, lies about the evidence that he does have, and basically misleads his audience with things that he claims that he did but he didn't do, to try and make the impression that in some way GeoStreamer was not being fed by Soundly, and therefore I'm the one that was listening to a conversation that was didn't happen. I did not listen to anything, but we clearly see that there was something being said in the background, and we know that it was Soundly. But for some reason, I'm being blamed for this, and I called foul. And Shawn was challenged, or he admitted that he would have to absolutely prove that this hangout came from me, that I was listening to, and he had to find this hangout. But what do you know? He hasn't been able to find this hangout, and he claims that he doesn't need to find it because he's demonstrated that I, in some way, was responsible for the sound. No, Shawn, you haven't. You've lied about what you think is being proven. You're telling your audience lies. You're dishonest and you're misleading people. Meanwhile, projecting all of your dishonesty and bad behavior onto me. Now, that's why you are a lying, disingenuous, intellectually dishonest sack of dog poo.
Yeah.
And you'll always be known as that, Shawn.
The main overriding point being that these people are the people who defend the globe model. The reification is obviously apparent to us now, but they continue to defend this model as though it's the world that we live on. So we don't live on a model, but the globe model is asserted as reality by these individuals, and what they actually have to offer is nothing but lies and deceit.
And these people are basically protagonists for lies, and we're here just to prove that. Show it day after day after day. It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. What do you think about, again, just to round out this particular point, last show was labelled about Rumpus, this one's Shawn, obviously, but what do you make of Rumpus's absolute failure to come through with the reification fallacy, begging the question, using R and claiming that there's mirages and super looming and all this sort of stuff? What do you make of his failure to do that?
It's proof that you can't model an inferior mirage on a sphere.
So you think he's hoping it'll just fade away into nothing, and he's secretly
just lazy, and he's a terrible bluffer.
So you think he's secretly pleased that we're just going to draw a line under this and say, well, okay.
I think he literally didn't do anything. His so-called 98% finished, I think he literally has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's all a bluff. That's what I think.
Right.
I actually think that he's a non-playing character.
Right.
I don't think he's a real person. I think that it's human CGI in some way or whatever. Because I don't think any human being could behave the way he behaves and actually live with themselves. You live in a complete and utter lie, Rumpus, but you're telling other people that these things are true. And that's the thing that's this. You've betrayed humanity by preaching your bullshit. It's embarrassing and it's wrong. You're the kind of person that would need to be hung, drawn, and quartered for treason for your lies, your humanitarian nonsense. People believe you as well. That's the worst thing about it. Don't get it.
Worldview would come crashing down if he had to accept the fact that he's basically perpetuating a lie that he's fallen for. Pretty sad.
I noticed that Starman conversation's like been forgotten all about as well, hasn't it? Some Tesla Roadster that's supposed to be in space. You guys have all got to accept that and believe that there's something up in space that's like...
It's still there? It hasn't crashed into any satellite yet?
No, it seems to have been totally forgotten about. And we need to remind people that Starman is probably one of the best examples of nonsense in their whole argument. And you guys have got to believe it.
So Starman being the Tesla car with a dummy spaceman floating around.
Listening to a bit of Bowie.
Medium that car is claimed to be in is a vacuum, and we all breathe gas pressure. So, given that you can't have gas pressure without a container, and the claim from people who think they live on a sphere is that beyond the gas pressure is a vacuum, well, that defies the second law of thermodynamics. You can't have gas pressure without a container. What they claim as outer space is nonsense.
Embarrassing, boys and girls. And people like the Rumpus and Shawn Hufford and Sly Sparkane push this nonsense like Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. But these guys are dishonest. They're telling lies. And we're showing it day in, day out. They can't prove curvature. They can't prove axial rotation. They cannot prove gravity. But for some reason, everyone seems to believe it until you wake up and realize it's all complete horseshit. And then basically join the panel because you think that you're a placeholder, and before you know it, you're debunking physicists with the scientific method that you never even thought that you knew. So
wait a minute, wait. I mean, I'm starting to question this whole liar. Everyone's a liar. This one's a liar. That one's an agent. I mean, Anthony, is for example the Pope a quote liar when he's up there talking about his? When he's preaching his stories, is he lying or is he just telling a story?
It depends on what his intention is. I mean, part of lying is about deceiving people. If he's trying to deceive people with facts that are untrue, then yeah, that's the definition of lying. If he's telling stories, parables, then he's telling a story, isn't he? And then you can accept. I mean, if you believe that Jonah existed in the belly of a whale, then that's up to you. But it's still told as a parable, right? Or as a story. So it's like, if you believe that, are you stupid?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it's like who's to blame, buyer or seller? I lean towards, if you want to believe something and you buy it, well, hey, snake oil salesman, good on him. I don't know. That's my lying. I don't know. I just think people tell stories, and it's your choice to believe or not believe. Of course, things like the ball, you do have. It is a bit forced because if you want to get through school and not be a dummy, you've got to repeat this story on tests.
When in actuality, they're feeding you false information, technically making you a dummy.
Yeah. That's pretty much the job of education. Anybody who still believes that education is there to improve the individual or the collective it's a bit sad to look at what we know today and still think that's the case.
I think that someone that's intentionally trying to deceive somebody should be shot. If they're telling stories in the religious context that they're trying to deceive you with, that's like the biggest crime in the world in terms of religion, isn't it? Because one of the biggest crimes in most religions is to be honest. It's not the biggest crime. It's one of the biggest crimes to not be honest or to mislead people, and that's what you're doing if you're pushing this nonsense.
I can get that, but what if we were to learn that, like, when this life ends, what if we're to go to heaven or whatever the heck it is you think, reincarnation, and what if we learn that I have every right to tell you whatever I want, and it's up to you to accept it or reject it? I mean, what if we learn that that's the case, that I have every absolute natural, God-given, whatever you want to call it, right to sell you anything I want. Then what?
What, and rely on your own discernment to be able to work out whether or not this snake oil is actually going to do what they tell you it does?
Yeah, I kind of think maybe that's
I think
what
there's a moral expectation on society not to do that, isn't there? So would you say that?
Go ahead.
Would you say that if there's a moral expectation to be generally speaking honest, would you say that that would be acceptable to be a snake oil salesman? I'd say perhaps not.
So this conversation will continue and be broadcast at around 0400 GMT or 4 AM UK time, and that will be over on my second channel. In the meantime, over on my second channel again, there will be the rebroadcast of the last debate together with the pre-show. And on that note, I'll say a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible, and of course a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then smash that dislike button, then smash it again. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!